Greetings to you, Miss Peace. I am Rifile Sekite and I am the group leader for Group 24, JLO 210 group assignment. So, with the assignment, we were allocated different topics, and the topic that we were allocated as Group 23 is what are the implications for addressing gender based violence within the broader context of social inequality and injustice, right? Upon discussion as a group, we felt that this topic is quite relevant and it is quite important in this day and age as we saw the transition from COVID-19 all the way to this day and age. We saw how gender based violence has rapidly increased in societies and how this is mostly influenced by the social inequalities and injustices that are found in different societies right now. In our group project, we decided to take this topic as a whole, to dive deep into it and bring out the fresh knowledge, the fresh ideas, and the creativity around it as to how we can solve it and what these things are. So, how these implications um, are used to address gender based violence in certain societies, and how these societies are unequal and injustice towards certain members, right? So, further on from this video, you're going to see my group members who are going to discuss their different parts, and I hope that it is engaging and I hope that you get to enjoy it. And there is much emphasis on the topic, and it is well explained by my fellow group members. Please do enjoy. Thank you.
Gender based violence are harmful acts directed at individuals based on their gender, often rooted in power imbalances and societal norms. It includes physical, sexual, and psychological, and disproportionately affecting women and marginalized groups. Examples include sexual harassment, child marriage, and etc. Social inequality. Social inequality, the uneven distribution of resources, opportunities within a society based on factors like gender, race, class, and ethnicity. Overview of the GBV and social inequality. GBV and social inequality are deeply interconnected. GBV in societies with rigid gender norms, power imbalances, reinforcing social inequality. Women, LGBTQI individuals, and marginalized groups often face high risk of violence due to economic dependency, cultural norms, and weak legal protections. Social inequality, on the other hand, sustains GBV by limiting victims' access to justice, education, and financial independence. In many societies, gender roles dictate power structures, making it harder for survivors to report abuse or seek support. For example, women in poverty may remain in abusive relationships due to financial constraints, while legal systems may fail to hold perpetrators accountable.
Hi everyone, I'll be talking about the intersectionality and the root cause of gender based violence. Addressing gender based violence, GBV, within the broader context of social inequality and injustice necessitates an understanding of how systematic structures perpetuate marginalization, oppression, and unequal power dynamics. Through an intersectional lens, it becomes clear that individuals experiencing GBV, particularly those with multiple marginalized identities, such as women of color, LGBTQI+ individuals, and those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, are affected. The root cause of GBV lie in patriarchal structures, economic inequality, racism, all of which create environments where violence is normalized and perpetuated. To effectively address GBV, intervention must go beyond individual action to tackle these systemic issues, including dismantling gender norms, promoting racial and economic equality, and ensuring access to justice and support services for all, particularly marginalized groups. Inclusive policies, community empowerment, and cultural shifts away from violence and inequality are critical to breaking the cycle of GBV, fostering environments where all individuals, regardless of their identity, are protected from harm. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So today we're gonna talk about economic inequality and gender-based violence in the global context. So uh, people are more vulnerable to the gender-based violence when they live in the poverty. Women and other marginalized groups, especially those with lower income, are more likely to be victims of violence. Because of the financial dependence and lack of resources, they may also have a more challenging time living violent circumstances. So, in the context of general injustice, addressing gender-based violence requires expanding financial opportunity for disadvantaged individuals, such as equitable employment, fair compensation, and educational chances. People may have the resources needed to end the endless cycle of dependence and weakness, which usually keeps victims in the abusive relationship. Thank you.
Okay, cultural and social norms that perpetuate gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is an umbrella term for any harmful act that is penetrated against a person's will and that is based on socially ascribed, for example, gender differences between males and females. We are going to look at the cultural and social norms that perpetuate gender-based violence. Number one, we have patriarchal structures. As we can see that many cultures in the world view men as dominant over women, and this led to men thinking they have control over women, including having control in their lives and bodies. Women may be exposed to obeying the rules set by men. Number two, we have beliefs about masculinity and femininity. Belief about masculinity, as I have indicated that men are viewed as dominant over women. That leads to abusive behavior when they feel challenged by women. Then we have beliefs about femininity. Since women are expected to obey men, they often depend on them, which makes them vulnerable. Number three, we have the role of family and community dynamics in shaping attitudes and behaviors related to gender-based violence. Family dynamics. Feminists often teach their children about gender roles while violence is a norm in that family. Children may see that as something that is acceptable and follow those steps. The last one is community dynamics. There are communities where they follow traditional gender roles, leading to that community accepting gender-based violence.
Mental health, trauma, and gender-based violence solutions. Mental health solutions. Individuals suffering from mental health illness can go to therapy, counseling, and psychiatric care. This will foster recovery and healing step by step. We will create education awareness, start by campaigning, as this will reduce the stigma around mental health. Well, by educating people about mental health and the symptoms, this will create awareness to them and for them to know where to ask for help. Trauma solutions. Create a safe space for individuals who have trauma to heal, can be through psychotherapy and activities like yoga, drawing, singing, and nature retreats. This will help them to process and reduce trauma in a welcoming atmosphere. Have support groups provide emotional support to individuals going through traumatic experiences to reduce the feeling of loneliness and isolation. Gender-based violence solutions. Create awareness, educate communities about the impact gender-based violence has on individuals and how they can prevent it. Educate them about healthy relationships, mutual respect, and respectful behavior. Create support groups and provide counseling to people who are going through gender-based violence and gender-based violence survivors. Thank you.